Rescue workers continue their search for Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 in the southern Indian Ocean. Well, joining me now is Charitha Pattiaatchi from the University of Western Australia, joining us from Perth. Thanks very much for joining us. So we've seen that the storm is quite far away from where rescuers are searching. We've been hearing reports over the last few days of objects spotted in the water, debris, whether or not it's related to the plane still has to be discovered. But in terms of having such a wild sea that you're speaking of, I mean, what does this mean for debris floating around? I mean, it could be there one minute, and is it possible it could be pretty far away the next moment?
No, because the waves don't transport any water. The waves propagate and they take energy from one place to another. Water is transported by currents, and in this region it is called the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, which is the largest current in the world in terms of the discharge or the amount of water being carried. To date, it probably travels about 50 kilometers a day on average, which means that over the last 10 days or so, the debris has shifted about 500 kilometers from where it originated from. We do have computer models which can work backwards and say, well, if here is where we find the debris today, but where was it 10 days ago? And we've done that exercise, and it actually matches the reported debris sightings from the Chinese satellite and the US satellite match with the predicted path of the aircraft by the US Transportation Board.
Okay, so are you saying then if an aircraft, like today we heard that a Chinese military aircraft spotted suspicious objects in the water, would you say that that's a pretty easy thing to find those objects after they've been spotted by aircraft, knowing the directions that debris travels?
Well, if it was easy, they would have found it by now, right? It's not easy because you see it in an aircraft, and then you actually have to send a ship to find it. And by that time, that debris would have moved somewhere else. It's easier, in fact, to spot debris from the aircraft because you're already on top of it, so you can actually see it. Even if it was, let's say, a half a meter underwater, you can see it. But from a ship, you can't see that. So it's two different things to be actually seeing it from the air and identifying it, and to be actually getting a ship to that location to pick it up.
Okay, Charitha Pattiaatchi, thank you very much joining us from Perth. For more on that story, you could go to WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kahn.